Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Lindsey Singer, Public Relations Director over at PredictIt, the stock market of politics. We're going to talk about the all-important debt ceiling and size of the infrastructure bill. Lindsey, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thanks for having me.
All right, and I can tell you on top of the Trade Talks audience minds and as many traders across Wall Street that the debt ceiling is really going to be a key factor that we're focusing on this week and its impact to the markets. What are PredictIt traders seeing in terms of timing?
Yeah, so the debt ceiling right now is tied in, as everyone knows, with the government funding, and that's on a deadline for the end of this week. If that doesn't pass, the government will partially shut down. But the debt ceiling will likely be taken out of that. It's scheduled for a vote. It'll likely fail in the Senate and then be taken out of that and either pass on its own or through the reconciliation bill, which the Democrats can pass on their own without any Republican support. So as far as timing, let's see, the markets are not very enthusiastic that it will happen by the end of this week. They're only giving that 5 cents. As far as by October 15th, which is really more like the deadline, that's a little more optimistic at 44 cents, and that's up 7 cents already this morning. So optimism gaining there.
Yeah, it seems as if PredictIt traders, probably along with regular market traders, are expecting a kick the can down the road kind of event, which is what we seem to see all the time when we have to talk about the debt ceiling. Moving on to the infrastructure bill, what are they pricing in terms of the actual size of it?
Yeah, the size of the infrastructure bill, there is quite a lot going on. So there's the large $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill, and then there's the even larger 3.5 trillion, what they're calling the reconciliation bill. So that the size of that $1 trillion is sort of set in stone. As far as the larger bill, the markets right now are saying, interestingly, that the highest price, it's only 36 cents, but that's gaining 3 cents already this morning. But that market is, the contract is 1.5 trillion or lower, and that's the lowest contract we have. And that's interesting because that means that the progressive faction of Congress that's really shooting for 3.5 trillion or even higher, they're going to be pretty disappointed in that number.
Right. Are there any odds in terms of what that 3.5 trillion looks like? I mean, I can't even imagine that it's out of single digits.
Yeah, so passing the Senate right now, I mean, what everyone's sort of waiting on is some of the more moderate Democrats in the Senate, like Senator Manchin, Senator Sinema, to give some sort of a number where they would feel comfortable compromising. So we don't have that number. So this can change very quickly once we do have that. But right now, the markets, as far as reconciliation passing by the end of this week, is only at 2%. Passing by November 1st, giving it another month, is up to 69 cents this morning. So, we're giving ourselves a little more time there, a little more wiggle room.
We certainly are. And we're also taking a look at the elections in Germany. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, I've got an American election mind, so I wouldn't say I'm an expert on the German elections, but I can say it was extremely close. And what voters were really saying is that they wanted a change from Merkel. Chancellor Merkel's been in office for 16 years. Her party came in second as far as the size of votes. So, but what the Germany election really will come down to is the Green Party and the Free Democratic Party. They got enough votes that they're sort of teaming up together where their coalition could be the kingmakers if they decide to eventually side with Merkel's party, which is CDU, or the party that actually won the most votes this weekend, which is the SPD party. Mm-hmm. So there's a pretty good chance that Scholz will win the chancellorship, but these kingmakers could sort of alter that if the coalition negotiations go that way.
Right. All right. Lindsey, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks a lot.